So dear friends, we are in the subject of human resource management. This is for BBA, second year, third semester students, and we are in the introductory chapter, that is first unit of this subject, that is human resource management. See what we have learned. We will just have a quick look at what we have already learned. Functions of human resource management is over. Managerial and operative role of human resource management is over. And we have found out the differences between personal management and human resource management. The similarities and differences between personal management and human resource management we have observed, and we are in strategic management approach. We already discussed some points related to strategic management approach. We will quickly go to that subject, that topic. Earlier we have discussed that strategic human resource management is the connection between a company's human resources and its strategies. Strategies means long-term plans, not medium-term or short-term. So it establishes a connection between a company's human resources and its strategies, objectives and goals. So aim of strategic human resource management is advanced flexibility, innovation and competitive advantage to develop a fit for purpose of organizational culture, improve business performance. These are the aims, objectives of strategic HRM. Now, three levels we have discussed. Strategic relates to long-term perspective. Medium-term perspective implies managerial, whereas operational implies it has a short-term perspective. This we have discussed in our previous class. And coming to differences based on the approach of strategic, managerial and operational on the basis of selection and placement, rewards, appraisal and development, we have discussed this. In strategic HR's activities, we came to know that hiring, training and rewarding employees with salary or with any other perquisites, with allowances, like that is rewarding an employee for the work done by him. That we have discussed. So coming to benefits of strategic human resource management. See, this is the new topic that we have to discuss today in this class. So with this, job satisfaction will increase for the employees who are working in the organization. It leads to better work culture. Okay, they will be motivated towards work. So not only that, it leads to customer satisfaction, improvement in customer satisfaction, and efficient resources management will take place because of strategic human resource management. A proactive approach to managing employees will be there. It boosts productivity. So this also I think we have discussed in the earlier class. Now coming to, this is the new topic. So 7 steps are there, 7 steps to strategic human resource management. What are the 7 steps? Please observe them carefully. Developing a thorough understanding of company's objectives. That is the first step in having a strategic human resource management approach. So a thorough means complete, comprehensive understanding of company's objectives is possible if the company adopts a strategic human resource management approach. Otherwise, it is not possible. If it adopts only operational approach or managerial approach, a thorough understanding of company's objectives will not be possible. So evaluate HR capability, means human resources. HR stands for human resources. human resources who are working in the organization, their capacities, their efficiencies, their effectiveness can be evaluated with the help of strategic human resource management. So 7 steps. So first one is you have to develop a thorough understanding of company's objectives. And second one, you have to evaluate human resource capability. Suppose you have a plan. Your company's objective is you want to produce 2000 units in 1 month. This is your objective. Let us take for example. And you have to evaluate the human resources capacity, whether the employees who are working in the organization are capable of producing these 2000 units in a single month or not. You have to evaluate. So after developing your objectives, you have to check the human resources capability, whether they will be able to reach your goals, reach the goals set by you, reach the objectives designed by you. You have to check. And you have to analyze current means not power, electricity, current means present. Current human resources capacity in light of goals. That is what I said, I discussed in this point. See, you first of all, you will estimate the capacity of human resources working in the organization. Now you will compare your objectives and the capacity, the capability, the efficiency, the effectiveness of human resources in your organization. You will make an analysis. You will make a comparison. Then in the 4th step, you will estimate company's future human resources requirements. Okay, Baba, this year 2000 units are produced, leave them. We are going to produce 2000 units. But what about next year? So next year we want to produce 2500 units, or next month rather. Next month we want to produce 2500 units. So in the light of increase of 500 units, whether new personnel need to be recruited or not, you have to check. So you are going to estimate company's future HR requirements, human resources requirements. And now, in the 5th step, you are going to determine the tools required for employees to complete the job. Now you can see that the government ordered all the teachers or all the lecturers or all the professors or assistant professors or associate professors to work from home using smartphones, using mobiles, using laptops. So for that, to conduct online classes, what are the tools required, not only for teachers but also for students? You have to determine whether they are available. You have to evaluate. You have to think about it. Similarly, in the organization also, the persons who are working as employees in your organizations, they may be having a capacity to produce 2500 units next month. But whether the required number of tools are available in the organization or not, you have to check. So you have to determine what tools are required, whether they are available in the required quantity or not. So you have to frame WH questions. What tools are required? How, if they are not available, how you are going to procure them? From where you are going to procure them? What are the funds available for you? Why at all you are doing this job? Why you have set this objective? When it will be accomplished? When the tools will reach your organization? All these things you have to check. So you have to determine the tools required for employees to complete the job. This is the 5th step. And now you are going to implement the HRM strategy, human resource management strategy. See, next month you have a plan of producing 2500 units. Total 10 employees are there in your organization. In these 10 employees, one may be more efficient than the other. One may be a lesser capable employee than the other. So you have to fix your strategy properly. To which employee, which work we are going to assign, that you have to decide. So that is implementing your HRM strategy. And now, after the month is over or during the progress of month, you are going to evaluate whether the organization's employees are going in the right direction or not. So suppose, let us take for example, our objective is to produce 2,500 units in the next month. So after 10 days are over or after 15 days are over, you have to check whether half of the month is over, whether half of the production, that is 1250 units are produced or not, you have to check. So you are going to evaluate the performance of the employees in the organization midway, or after a fixed time period is over, you are going to evaluate. If at all more than 1250 units are produced, there is no need for corrective action generally. If less number of units are produced than 1250 units, you have to take a corrective action. Necessary steps you have to take so that your objective will be reached, your goal will be reached, your aim will be attained. You have to see that. So these are the 7 steps in any organization which wishes to follow strategic human resource management approach. I am repeating, the organization has to develop a thorough understanding of company's objectives and HR capability it has to evaluate, and the organization has to analyze current human resources capacity in light of goals, and you have to estimate company's future human resources requirements, and you have to determine the tools required for employees to complete the job. To accomplish the job, what are the tools required? You have to check, and you have to implement the HRM strategy. The long-term plan of HRM you have to implement, and you have to evaluate the performance of employees, and if needed, corrective action has to be taken. So these are the 7 steps in human resource management approach with reference to strategic plan. Okay. Now coming to the challenges in the implementation of strategic human resource management. What are the challenges that you face? Technology is a challenge. See, every day technology is improving. High-tech technology is coming. Now you take the case of teachers and students. Just 4 or 5 months back, we did not imagine that we can upload a video in YouTube and students can view from anywhere in the world if link is given. But now, because of this pandemic situation, because of COVID-19 situation, the technology has been drastically added as an armory to the working employees. So technology is being rightly used by the teachers as well as the students. 6 months ago, if anybody told a teacher working in a school or working in a college to upload a video in YouTube, the teacher or the lecturer used to make ridicule of the person who has insisted like that. But now the technology is being implemented, technology is being used. So using technology is a very big challenge, especially with reference to school, with reference to college I am speaking, with reference to remote areas in the country where there is a problem of internet connectivity, where there is a problem of purchasing of smartphones, where there is a problem of allocating budget for recharging mobile phones. All these are problems. This is a challenge. Strategic human resource management also faces challenge of technology. New technology has to be implemented in the organization. For that, financial resources are required. And how to procure financial resources is a big problem. How to implement in the organization, that is a big problem. So all these are challenges. And diversity. What is diversity? Diversity in simple terms, difference. So our India is known for integrity in diversity. Integrity means unity, unity in integrity. We are all integrated, we are all mingled with one another, irrespective of caste, irrespective of creed, irrespective of religion, irrespective of sex, irrespective of language, irrespective of race, irrespective of traditions and customs. We are integrated. So diversity is a very big problem. Nowadays, human resources are being procured from not only a particular region, not only from a particular country, but if you advertise in the internet with the help of any medium, it may be WhatsApp, it may be your website, it may be any online platform you take, you advertise a job requirement, you put it in the online. A person may apply from foreign countries also, depending on the pay scale, depending on the work nature. So diverse employees are going to be there in the organization. So accommodating them, treating them properly, and maintaining their services in an appropriate way, utilizing them in an appropriate way is a very big challenge for human resource management strategy approach. So building a competitive workforce is a very big challenge. Now caliber of the workforce. So now I told you. So you can utilize the services. Suppose you are learning human resource management subjects. So the same class I am teaching, another person who is working as a professor in a developed country is also teaching, and he has also uploaded in YouTube. Same topic, if you type in YouTube, that video lesson will also appear on your screen. My video lesson will also appear on the screen. Then you are going to make a comparison in caliber. Caliber means the talent, the efficiency, the effectiveness of the person. So caliber of the workforce is also a challenge. You have to maintain that caliber in workforce. Means that employees caliber you have to judge properly, you have to nurture them, you have to provide them training to increase caliber. So all these are challenges. Maintaining caliber in the employees means you have to continuously motivate them, and organizational restructuring and downsizing. So downsizing means decrease in production, decrease in purchase, decrease in sales, decrease in number of employees. If losses are coming, if losses are being incurred by the organization, what the organization will do? It will downsize. It will decrease its size, its scale of production, its number of employees, its number of sales, it will decrease. And organizational restructuring. Restructuring means already a structure is there. See, production department is there, purchases department is there, sales department is there, advertising department is there, human resources department is there. These are the 5 departments in an organization. Let us take for example. Now, you downsizing, restructuring, you are restructuring the organization. These 2 departments you are combining. And now only 4 departments you are making. So this is restructuring. Already existing structure, you will change it. You may mix 2 units into 1, or you may make 2 into 3. You may convert 2 into 3. That depends on the situation. Okay. Contingent workers. Contingent means part-time workers on a day-to-day basis. What is the purpose of their involvement in your work? From where you are going to procure contingent workers? How much salary you are going to pay? In all these things, you have to pose WH questions. What type of technology is being used? How you are going to procure the technology? How you are going to utilize? Why it is required? When you are going to use? Where you are going to implement? In all the departments in your organization, or only some departments? Diversity. What do you mean by diversity? What type of diversity exists in the organization? From where different persons have come? Why the differences have occurred? How to solve them? When? Within what time you are going to solve? What type of caliber you have? From where the caliber has generated? Why certain individuals' caliber is more, while others is less? How to improve the caliber of all the employees working in the organization? When is the right time? And what is the present structure? And from where you are going to restructure? What are the resources? How you are going to restructure? How you are going to downsize? Why at all restructuring is required? Why at all downsizing is required? And in case of contingent workers also, what type of force is required for you? From where you are going to procure them? Why at all they are required? How much wages you are going to pay? When you are going to pay? What are the funds that are available to you to make a payment to them? So all these questions pose challenges to strategic human resource management approach. Okay. Now, not only that, trends of the technology revolution. So this topic, the technology we discussed. In technology, what are the dimensions? So you can observe growth in knowledge needs. See, almost 6 months back, nobody knows about Zoom meeting. We can utilize like this. What are the pros and cons of using Zoom meeting? What are the benefits and demerits of Google Meet app? So several things are there. So because of there is growth in knowledge needs. So shift in human competencies is observed. So 10 years back, 10 years ago, your father's competency is different from yours competency now. When your father was same a teenager, his competency was different. But now when you are a teenager, your competency is different. So there is a shift in human competency and globalization. What is globalization? In detail, our next topic is that one only, we will discuss them. Okay. In simple terms, globalization means you are removing the barriers of the country. You are opening the country's borders to all. Anybody can purchase, anybody can sell, anybody can establish industry here. That is globalization. Okay. These three terms we will discuss. Our next topic is this one only, LPG. LPG means not our gas cylinder, liquefied petroleum gas cylinder. That is not our discussion. L means liberalization. P means privatization. G means globalization. This is the policy of the government now. Not only now, ever since 1990s, the policy of globalization, liberalization, privatization has been the buzzword. Okay, business streamlining. So these are all the trends in technology revolution. Please remember, in strategic management approach, you are going to update your technology, and in the light of that, we are discussing this point. Business streamlining. Business streamlining means whatever hurdles are there, whatever drawbacks are there, whatever demerits are there in the organization, in your business organization, you are going to remove them and you are streamlining it. You are streamlining it means you are taking corrective action and you are bringing it into right path. That is what streamlining means. You are going here and there, here and there, here and there, but now you are giving it a proper direction. And dynamic innovation. Dynamic means it is opposite of static. Static means it will not change. Fixed. Stationary. Okay. Static means fixed. Dynamic means ever changing. This is static. In my earlier class also I mentioned static, it is not changing, it is fixed. Dynamic, it is moving. Okay. So innovation, I told, by finding a new thing. So these are all trends in technology revolution. Quality improvement. Okay, now you can take the case of your phone only. 30 years back we have only landline connection. Then afterwards mobile phones came, which do not have any smartphone features like WhatsApp or video calling or those features are not there. The older generation phones are used only for talking purpose, that's all. Only for speaking purpose. But now quality has increased. We can conduct online meetings in phones. We can view videos. We can view movies we can chit chat, everything is, so everything is possible. So there is a marked improvement in quality and industrial revolution. So during olden days, what the people used to do? We used to have handmade everything, but now all production has become industrialized. An industrial revolution took place. So these are all trends of industrial revolution. So in strategic human resource management approach also, all these things you have to take into consideration before framing a policy which is long term. Okay. Now, managing is not easy. Managing human resources in the present generation is not easy because abilities of employees are different. Older generation employee is different from present generation employee. Diverse employees are there. See, same work from home, same lecture, you can have from an American professor also, or Russian professor also, from a Britain professor also you can have. So suppose this is an organization which is engaged in some online service. In advanced countries, technology will be different. His work from home capabilities will be different from a developing country's employee. So abilities of employees will be different. Employees' attitudes and preferences will be different. One employee belongs to one country, another employee belongs to another country. Some other employee belongs to some other country, and their attitudes, their preferences, their nature, their culture, everything will be different, and it will be very, very challenging. So managing is not easy. That is it. Motivation in employees is also very, very difficult. See, now take the case of our class only. In offline class means present directly I can monitor who is writing, who is not writing, how many spelling mistakes are there, everything I can check. But now, online, it is possible, but it is very difficult compared to offline mode. So motivating also in a live class means directly, offline class means directly in front of me only I can motivate the students in an easier way, in a better way. But now, online means the motivation of employees, the motivation of students is also very, very difficult. It is just like looking at the mirror and explaining, that's all, as a teacher. For a teacher, online teaching is just like looking at the mirror and explaining to himself, that's all. So motivation levels will be different from an offline class, and personality of employees will be different. Personality means not the outside appearance. So inner our beliefs, our attitudes, our customs, our habits, how we act and how we interact with others in the society, that makes up our personality. So personality of employees will be different, and managing them is not going to be very, very easy. It will be challenging. So this LPG I told you, this for our next topic, it is a curtain raiser. It is an introduction. This is the last topic. Next topic is the last topic, that is impact of globalization on HR policy. So before that, we will come to know about these three terms. Liberalization. Liberalization means easing rules and regulations. Means, let us take for example, earlier, if you have to take admission in a government degree college or in a private degree college, let us take for example, you have to personally go there and you have to submit a written application form along with a printed application form and attaching all your certificate Xerox copies, all the Xerox copies of your certificate along with photo. But now everything is online, right from your home, with the help of a mobile phone. You can join in any college across the state or in some cases across the country. So that is a liberalization. Easy, making it easy in application, making it easy in the policies, in the procedures. Everything is made easy now. If you want to establish an industry, if you want to establish an organization in the country, earlier you have to go to several offices and you have to submit various reports. Physically you have to go there, physically you have to move from this office to that office, so many permissions, so many licenses you have to take. But now everything is online. You need not submit that many reports, that many documents are not required. So that is the policy of liberalization. So making it easy for the persons who are involved in that job. No privatization. Now you compare government college with a private college, government institution with a private institution. So you are opening sector, certain sector to private players also, private organizations also. Till now only government is involved. From now onwards even private sector can enter. Globalization means, I told you, from anywhere in the world you can come to this country, our country, lovely country India. You can establish industry, you can establish organization, you can hire employees from any country. No permissions are required, or less number of permissions we have to take. So these are the terms that you have to know. Liberalization, making it easy. Privatization, allowing even private organizations to work in a particular sector. You take education sector, you take any production of iron or digging of coal, mining. You open the gates for private players also, private organizations also. Globalization, you are removing the borders of our country for business sector. So these terms you should know. In our next class, we will learn about the impact of globalization on HR policy, that is human resource policy and practice. So today we have learned about strategic human resource management for BBA second year, third semester students. So thank you very much, dear friends.